Welcome back, and our goose may very well be cooked.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
Alright. She's fucking guilty.
But we haven't finished yet.
The court sees no reason to further continue this trial. The real identity of the accused has been thoroughly proven.
No, it hasn't.
As such, shut up. The court finds the accused, Miss Espella Cantabella, guilty.
Wow, already.
Your kind is a pox upon our land, and for that you must be sent to the fire. Detestable creature of magic, may the flames purge you from this earth.
And suddenly everyone went away from the court. Oh!
And game over screen.
With the Iron Maiden that is used to throw into the fire. Ah, very funny.
Yeah, I was just showing the game over stuff here. Let's see what actually happens.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
So what does trigger something, different?
Hold it.
Oh, that was me actually just editing in the game over about that.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Finally, the biggest character of them
Your
all
Honor,
is here
I
to save the
request that the
franchise.
court hold its verdict a moment longer.
So here you go, guys. The moment you've all been waiting
meaning of this
for.
intrusion?
Layton and Phoenix now both in court.
Oh, it's a bit sad
have
that it's,
something I believe will be of
later
use
that
to
has
the
to say
defense.
Phoenix in his
A
own
weapon.
home turf, basically.
Yes.
Well,
You
to be
see,
fair,
you can't do your job right, Mr. Wright, so I'm going to do it for you.
I know that it's Phoenix is at a disadvantage because of the different rules, but...
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Well, to be fair, Phoenix was put in a position where he's basically fighting a losing battle. He has no way of, he does no proper weapons. I feel like what Takumi's trying to do here is that Layton comes in, saves Phoenix, and this is how they become partners throughout the rest of the game.
I do get some of a slight feeling that it was supposed to go differently. Again, trust me, we'll go into how different this game was going to be later
Once
on.
again, Mr. Wright. Well now, these things are certainly afoot here, although the real contest begins now. Are you fully prepared? No answer to that
What
question.
do you know with Maya?
Are you here to
Yeah,
help
like
us?
this is my spot.
No, I'm going to overtake you.
Of course, the professor always helps those in need. It is the duty of every gentleman. Right,
That
Professor?
too, yeah.
Besides, you're sucking at the minute.
Not to mention too, there's been plenty of times in the main Ace Attorney series where Phoenix manages to get saved by somebody who comes in at the last moment and shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember
There
one
is a saying
specific
that I
game that I
find
really don't like
quite
about
useful.
that.
Situations like this, there is a time for words and a time for action.
I do kind of get where
where
Gio's coming from, given how Phoenix is very much squirming here. However, to be fair, they do pretty much point out that he is coming out of not just amnesia, but literally in a court of law, which is outside his usual expertise.
Also, to be fair, compared to the beginning case of Apollo Justice, it's not like Layton is taking literally Phoenix's place, but he's just giving mild suggestions on what to do, I guess.
He's the hype
Pretty
man.
much, yeah.
Not to mention,
How can I put this? I guess that's not quite the full story.
Is that so?
I love both of them, like the puzzle party case.
I kind of had an epiphany just now. I remembered all sorts of things, like how I'm not actually a baker.
No shit.
And, well, how magic can't really exist.
What was that?
Oh, right, except for, that magic.
It would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are stupid. You are not, in fact, a citizen of this town.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, okay, might as well point out the puddle that Troy was kind of hinting at. Yeah, okay, I can get Layton and Luke insisting that magic doesn't exist, but Phoenix, my dude, you have seen some literal magic before your eyes. I know we call it spirit mediuming, but still, that is still a supernatural effect which you have seen.
Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to save Miss Cantabella.
But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe.
Nick!
And yeah, come to think of it, where's the Magatama that allows me to see people's truth and thoughts and all that?
I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, see, magic does in fact exist in this world. Look at that girl behind you.
You're right.
Indeed, that is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon well suited for this witch trial.
I could have it more in another place or at least at the end of the
That's another thing. Phoenix was put in here without even being able to investigate anything, so he came here with literally no evidence.
Right. I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually. Okay, time to get to work.
Right then, Mr. Wright. I'll explain how the Grand Grimoire works.
Yes, I'll let the 8-year-old tell you how a book works.
Are you using Maya as a footstool?
Yes. Have a look
Poor
at the
Maya.
touchscreen. There, you'll see the Grand Grimoire button. Touching the Grand Grimoire button will open up the Grand Grimoire.
They're using a box like with Sister Bikini too.
You'll be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence.
Mm-hmm.
This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whereas puzzles are, typical Layton affair, it is definitely the core gameplay that gets its most flavoring here. The multiple witnesses, the new things that you can press and present, and even the Grand Grimoire itself as well. Again,
Well, weirdly enough, if
Yeah,
I
there's a
remember, you
reason-
cannot present actual caster profiles.
Yeah,
That
there's a
is
reason
a
why
shame.
Takumi's team. There's a reason why Takumi's team used this as the basis for Greatest Attorney.
again,
Layton, why are you drinking in court?
There's no rule saying you can't. Besides, it's hot in
Absolutely.
here. We're right next to fire here.
That is true a bit. I bet Barnum is actually boiling inside his armor.
Nick, you should take a look at that spell.
alright. All I have to do is touch the Grand Grimoire button, huh?
What's a Grand Grimoire button?
You shouldn't be able to hear what I'm thinking, too.
The defender
That's
is
kind of
thinking
your whole
more
problem,
time.
actually.
It would seem this trial has reached its end. You wasted too much time giving a fucking
Is
tutorial.
Is that understood, said Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt.
Yeah, that's my headcanon. They wasted too much time with the tutorial. Now the judge is going to end the trial.
The witness testimony, coupled with the illustration of time of murder, makes it quite clear what must have occurred. This murder was a result of magic. And furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused.
The accused has a name, you know.
That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the courtroom have crumbled.
Boo!
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That pun literally hurt me!
Is everything
Dies of
okay,
cringe.
Mr. It would seem that photographs do not exist in this world.
You don't say.
Oh, pardon me, Mr. Wright.
Bless you. Photos don't exist. I guess that makes sense. Ye old time period and all.
We have drawings.
Very good drawings, I'll admit.
The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright.
Okay. Alright. I think I can do this now. With the help of this gentleman in the weird top hat, this boy in the little blue hat,
Hey, this top hat's precious to me.
my final chance.
Phoenix, you come from a place where a 12-year-old can be a prosecutor. Come on, this is not that strange to you.
Not to mention, you expose the poor child with his, pearl to all sorts of weird shit.
Heck, if my great-great-granddaddy's memoirs are anything to go by, 8-year-olds can get medical PhDs over in the UK.
Pearl threatens to punch people on a regular basis.
Just because they threaten
She's
to
fine.
sink her
She should
shit.
not be exposed to murder.
Anyway,
Still.
in that
Yeah, let's go
case,
to the other contradiction.
there's still hope that I can turn this around.
Mr. Wright,
Are you okay?
you have to hurry. Look, the judge.
Oh my god, I
Look
can do
at
the sound of
the
it.
the chicken dancer.
He looks ready to deliver his verdict any second now.
On your head.
Looks like he enjoys this
Have it
fight
down.
way too much.
This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do?
Give up.
Give
Give up.
After all,
Hold it! 1 second, Your Honor. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration.
It's right there in front of you. The gentleman in the top hat was looking at it.
I think there might be a contradiction in there.
objection.
No.
You are already out of time.
Who said?
I did.
All testimony and evidence given thus far has been proven to be accurate.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to pull my usual court magic with it. Objection! Huh. I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum.
Ah,
There's just one thing you've overlooked. A piece of evidence within this book.
that rhymes.
The Grand
Goddamn.
Grimoire.
Absurd! I overlooked something? You're the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier.
Well, excuse me, I didn't have any time to. But, fine, you're right, I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now.
Interesting.
Boy, not gonna make you wrong.
You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight.
True blue.
Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you!
Don't stab me, please.
Opposing contradiction.
Alright then.
If you don't show it within 10 seconds, Clive be found guilty. What's ready to throw the sword at you?
On the
This is
one
very
occasion
simple.
that while I'm thinking time is frozen.
This is very simple. All it takes is one look at this picture and one look at the Grand Grimoire. You'll notice immediately what the problem is.
Defender, I'll give you this magnifying glass because I'm so nice.
Thanks.
Just use it to point out the contradiction.
Alright. Let's see.
So you don't think within a 1 meter radius of a caster.
I can point out quite a couple, but yeah, we'll point the one for now.
Got it! The contradiction is right here.
Ah, right hand, Phoenix, right. The hand of the accused. She seems to be holding a lantern.
What is your point?
According to this tome, using the spell Ignaze requires the use of the Witch's Scepter, as well as an incantation.
Yeah, you kind of
Isn't
need a
that
catalyst.
But what scepter?
Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as Atalia Magica.
Well, Barnum, that should be enough for you to realize what the problem is here then.
No, this town just likes burning people.
Sometimes they call it Mornstar, but you know, it's lost in translation.
If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Cantabella's hand. Tell me, do you see the Witch's Scepter in either of her hands?
Unless, of course, the Witch's Scepter happens to look like a bucket of water.
In this case, milk.
Exactly.
There we go. Let's see you point that sword at me now.
Whatever,
Yeah, but
burn her anyway.
The evidence is
why not?
conclusive, he
Get
said.
it, Mr. Wright, but wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious?
You may be right, Luke.
We spent all this time setting this fire pit up. Someone better be burning.
It would certainly appear that the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too well in spite of being angry earlier.
That's
oh
true.
boy.
That is correct, Sir Prentice Baker. But you should not underestimate me.
Why
Oh,
did you
boy.
lie?
Okay, how about
Or
you?
Panziza. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? right here is the very scepter you mentioned. And once again, even in small capacity, level 5 shines at what we do best, fucking weapon design.
I know, right?
One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path. Oh, yes, indeed, that was I located it.
How wonderful.
My feet found themselves ensnared in a plastic thing and sent me flying through the air.
He's not.
Sorry.
He's not kidding about that. Somehow, I'm not surprised to hear you fell, Gramps.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
The scepter does seem to carry a most sinister air.
It literally has 2 snakes used, which, funnily enough, is also a medical symbol as well.
Yeah, it's the caduceus. Indeed, my lord. However, the scepter will only work by the hands of a witch, with the incantation being said aloud.
Aw, that's too bad. I wanted to try lighting some stuff on fire.
Also,
Please don't look at me when you say that.
hang on a minute. Where did Layton and Luke go?
You
Just on the other
see,
side.
there are 2 magic gems set in the scepter.
How can it be the other side? Phoenix is facing the left when he sees his big person.
Magic
Perspective.
gems.
Perspective.
Looks like a red gem and a white gem. Chaos emeralds?
These gems each contain a particular magic spell.
No, it's Ruby and whatever the white emerald is in Steven Universe.
By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used. Unless, you're probably...
Quick, look at this page.
Wait, if one of them is the ruby, shouldn't the other one be sapphire?
Sapphire's gone missing, so they had to replace it with another one.
Is that the red magic gem?
Indeed. The red gem you see here is the spell Ignaze, and if you look carefully...
It'd been funny if when he said Ignaze, the red thing went off in his face.
You should notice that the scepter also has one more spell that can be used.
One more spell. That must be the white gem. Let's see if we can find it in the book.
Mr. Wright, I found it! Here's the spell for the white magic gem.
Oh, perfect timing.
And there's Luke stealing your thunder. Well done, my boy.
Demir.
Demir.
Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant
how
Demir to make it
convenient.
reappear.
Okay.
How bloody convenient.
Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Also, I am forever amazed that Maya hasn't committed any actual crime ever.
I
know,
know,
right?
right? Shuri, let's not forget.
Actually-
Earlier in this game, we literally saw her bludgeon Phoenix on the head with a steel pipe.
Yeah, last I checked, that's assault. Physical assault.
It's like, it's not even just this game, multiple games where I'm like, are you sure you haven't killed anyone?
I know, right?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's just it, Shuri. Maybe all those times she gets unfairly on trial is karma.
Yeah, that explains
That,
it.
okay. That's right. In other words, believe it or
He
not,
was about to throw something at me.
looked like it was that big. The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage their own use of magic.
Come on, Barnum. You just
No!
pull that one out of your
No way!
He pulled a phoenix!
Damn it! That was actually pretty good too.
Order! Order! Order!
I've seen better, Phoenix.
Inquisitor Barnum, please submit the scepter into evidence.
I don't know. That argument doesn't convince me personally, to be honest with you.
Objection! Hold on, please.
No.
No.
Is there a problem, Sir Baker?
Several? Like,
Okay, I understand that this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter is in Miss Cantabella's possession has not yet been proven.
what are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker?
Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints.
Oh,
Phoenix, I don't think,
Supposing Miss Cantabella did in fact handle the witch's scepter, then her fingerprints should be on it.
He's still getting used to it.
Force of habit. To be fair, to Phoenix's credit, force of habit. Come on, remember, like it's
It's
just
more
like,
of a case where they're actually trying to showcase why this is not working, which again could have been used also for stuff like the Magatama, for example.
That too.
You said fingerprints? Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this baker blabbering about?
I haven't the slightest clue, milord. It is the baker's first time in court, after all.
He's used to making biscuits.
I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem that the concept of logic or fingerprinting does not yet exist.
not quite. We're not at that line yet, Professor. We're not at that line yet.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
I can't believe it.
As I have said already, best you head back in the bakery, lest you continue to serve this court more of your half-baked ideas.
You're just full of baker puns, aren't you?
Jesus Christ, I forgot about these.
They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns.
Yeah, I'm
Barnum.
gonna be Phoenix on this one.
Yeah, forensic science does not exist. Instead, this is a world in which witches and magic are accepted as fact.
What is science?
But
Truly fascinating.
it is fascinating, Professor. But maybe we, yeah.
I was just gonna say, Professor, where's your tap
What the
gone?
heck? There are just way too many things I don't know about this world.
And yet I figured it all out in one day. I believe you may be able to take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, by the way. Professor Layton has always been portrayed as a genius character, and Phoenix has always been portrayed as an average Joe. Like he's supposed to represent us. So of course, Layton's going to be smarter than Phoenix. There's nothing inherently wrong with a character being smarter than another one.
Which is funny because Layton was actually based off of Phoenix character-wise.
Well,
Yeah.
partly, but mostly Sherlock Holmes.
Well, one complaint I crossover, but a lot of two characters coming together. There's always the risk you can end up making one character look far out better than the other.
Anyway,
Right.
I
here
don't
we
think
have
that's
it.
what's happening
I
here, though.
forgot, Layton actually does step in this case.
Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum? You see, Mr. Wright, you suck, so I'm standing in for you.
What's that? Who might you be?
My name is Herschel Layton. I am a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime.
Not to mention, Phoenix has always had plenty of assistance in his trial, so this is just another one.
You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic. Is that correct?
Indeed, through the magic spell Dimir.
If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim?
What?
What, does proof not exist in this world too?
This is a courtroom.
You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility.
He's got a point there.
What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? That's a bit I gotta differentiate between the judge and Layton, and they're not that different. Can the Inquisition fulfill the request prevented by the gentleman with the unusual hands? My hands is meaningful to me!
The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof.
Go cry about it.
If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender.
At the edge of a sword, I see.
Of bloody course it does.
Come on, it's the prosecutor Inquisition's job to prove that a crime was committed.
As I thought. Indeed, it would appear the accepted method of thinking in this world differs greatly from our own. You see, my job is to
You
point
just
out...
called them all stupid.
My job is... You see, Mr. Wright, my job is to point out what you all just saw.
But you see, Shiroi, he does it in such a
Regrettable,
polite
Sir
way.
Prentice Baker. And you, Sir Darkhat. Whoa, what the
Oh,
Sir,
God.
sir, should you require it, I'll stand ready to lend my testimony.
I didn't ask for your testimony. I was going to win the case. Who's Kira again?
Would anyone
Sherry.
care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies.
Capitalism is bad, Kira. Go home.
Go ahead, Kira.
Marketing
Go ahead, Kira.
titles.
Oh no.
Stuart and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious?
Please, save him.
Scepter, you say? Yes, I know such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter.
Like, free him.
Remember,
What do you think, Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Or do witnesses not exist in this world?
Very well.
Virgil apparently does.
Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more.
Oh boy.
all right, that bought
This
us
is
some
gonna
time.
be very
Please
bad for
record
you.
all you know regarding these Talia Magica.
I guess otherwise the court would be at an impasse. Well, we've somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Darkhat.
Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being.
I said that in my mind!
Yeah.
No, you
I think
didn't.
it's tradition at this point.
Oh,
we're
God.
going to reverse
He's
this
new to
time.
the franchise.
When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
The girl with the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way.
What's it now?
The Seto Kaiba way.
Oh god.
I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something.
The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended.
Okay. That's an interesting testimony, if ever I've heard
The
one.
right hand where she was holding the lantern.
I see. The accused hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
Also, as we mentioned, she actually did drop it as soon as she was grabbed. So, to be fair.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter. You. Okay.
I think she's describing more so the motion she saw as opposed to suggesting that she saw the invisible scepter.
We saw it too! It was a girl up there, without a doubt.
I as well. These old eyes don't see as well as they once did, but I witnessed the hazy blurry from the accused quite clearly.
It's like in that cow and chicken episode. Here's an invisible sauce. Hey, I don't see anything in your hand.
Don't
of course
tell
you
the
don't,
court
because
you're
it's invisible.
blind.
My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade.
Which is clearly rubber made.
A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implication of that analogy on his vision.
Yeah.
And, Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation.
Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste.
Do I have to do all the heavy
Hey,
lifting for you?
that-
Do you want me to point your finger for you?
Yeah, that line that Phoenix just said, that's a classic Phoenix line if I've ever heard one. Like, he constantly says that line over time in the series. The insert person here has given me this one more chance. I have to take advantage of it, or some shit like that. So,
Pretty much.
that's basically how I see this.
I can get the issue that it does feel like it happens way early, whereas normally when someone bails them out, that's like near the end or a later part of the case. But
And not to mention, Phoenix has been more of an established attorney at this point.
again, to be fair, this is a different sort of court case here and there, so I'm relatively fine with it here. I'll admit I was groaning the first time I played it, but now that I've had time to look back on it and reflect, it's better.
Like I said, Phoenix came into this trial completely unprepared. Because of the circumstances. So, it's one of those cases where I will definitely say that it's fair.
Objection! Whoa, wait, Miss Kira, you didn't actually see it, did you?
Witness. This cane-like object, was it perhaps roughly this size?
Oh, why yes. It was exactly that size.
Out of context, it looked like it's the size of a flower.
They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter.
Also, Kira's the worst liar.
It seems it may be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further.
Yeah.
Well, that's just super.
Not to mention
Next.
Phoenix is trying to Phoenix is trying to use logic and reason in a world that doesn't have any. So it's like trying to draw a round square. It just doesn't work.
Objection! There is a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident.
What do you mean?
You'll see. What I mean, Inquisitor Barnum, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
Objection! What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Prentice Baker? The lantern's handle was around the accused's wrist.
Objection! Huh! Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it.
What?
The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you agree? When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud.
The lantern
Fell into the mud.
Why, of course! Sense, doesn't it, my little snowy woey?
I hate you.
That lamb's just relieved to not be getting squeezed by her for once. Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at that time... Ha! That would mean that when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it.
And we're not operating hyperspace, so she literally did not pull it out of her ass.
What's going on? Inquisitor Barnum seems speechless.
That defender's managed to turn the thing around, even though he's just some baker.
It's like a
Must be a witch
turnabout.
too.
Hey, the witches have compasses no heed. They're just trying to trick you. It's a witch! No!
The audience really is a Twitter, set of users. Jesus.
Just what is this?
It's logic.
That's my lie.
We can't explain. Oh, hi, Kira.
One moment, please.
Huh?
Everyone, please listen.
Please listen.
Soap
Please
operas.
listen.
Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw?
Yeah, and I picked it apart. What about it?
What about it? Yeah.
It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand.
It's the plot. Explain that to me.
Gladly.
Well, being that one over, Kira.
So that you can understand. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it.
Mr. Wright.
What is it, Mr. Layton?
These people are dumb.
Well, yeah.
Aside
There
from
is
that,
something- There is something about this witness.
No shit.
Miss Kira, was it? I'm sorry, do you mind if I go over here?
Yeah,
Thank
tag
you.
in.
all right.
Miss Kira,
Yeah, those makes a good. Yeah, go on.
how good is your eyesight, actually? Go on, Pedro.
Yeah, those makes a good point
Huh?
actually. Think of it as a tag team match.
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. Ugh. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Eric.
Ah!
Suddenly the new tell the truth
She's
theme.
literally pushing up daisies.
Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
Your witness sucks balls, Your Honor. That's what.
Okay, for the sake of
What say
professionalism.
you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Bonham.
This girl needs prescriptions right now. And before you ask, remember, the guy with the beard did have one, so they exist in this world.
It's true. I need to wear glasses all the time. In fact,
So where are they then?
That's a good question.
You need to wear glasses? Now that you mention it, I did notice something odd about you today.
Oh, I thought you looked familiar. God is the amusement cloud in my mind. In its place, clarity.
She really does look that different without her glasses.
Madam, a pair of spectacles are as valuable to as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair.
God damn it, he
This
actually
is your
said
PSA
something
about
sensible.
wearing glasses.
Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No.
No, I was not wearing them.
Ah,
The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
And glasses are expensive, so.
Yeah, they are.
Awesome.
They are actually.
You'd be surprised, Bonham. A lot can happen to glasses. So, her glasses were missing during the time of the event.
Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? Could prove useful later.
Alright. Got it.
Yeah, I know you do that anyway, but I thought I'd just remind you.
Kira's poor eyesight and wears glasses, which you missing from the incident, put into the record. Got it.
Am I to believe there is nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession. Hey, I'm talking here.
Oh,
Hold it! Wait just a moment. Serene, I have much more left to say.
I don't help.
Right. Also, I don't think that's right. My twist is sort of just cut for this special lie. Sorry. Also, I don't think we mentioned this, but her name is Mary. Mary her little lamb.
Yes.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
Speaking of which-
that's sweet, honey, but
Ah, so that's what she normally looks like with her glasses on.
Actually, honey, it kind of does.
No, please, by all means, give me the pleasure of shattering
Oh,
that
she is
will.
a lower. I can't remember now. Old age has a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand.
You know, that can be very bad for you.
Yeah, Your Honor, the witness just ate her own flower that could be poisonous. I suggest a suspension of the trial.
It's a daisy. What's gonna happen? Make her fall asleep? Huh?
As you will see, we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict.
Yes, Tio, it'll put her in a daze.
Ha.
You asked for that.
Well, let's save here, and now that the court is finally starting to turn around, maybe, just maybe, we may have a shot at this.
Spoilers, there are several more parts of this.
We talked about the whole new terms of Defender and Inquisitor. I like that. I like the new term for the various tries you have in court, credibility.
Yes.
Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight. In the next part.
Technically. Before we end, just something quickly that I want to say was going to mention. I get the idea that one reason they might have, deliberately withheld the thing about Maya using, her spirit medium abilities is because they thought that, this place is as intolerance towards magic, so she might be actually accused of being a necromancer. But with this type of writing, it feels more like the kind of thing that will be brought up and actually discussed, like an actual case of trial where Maya gets accused for spirit channeling, something like that. It feels like something that is kind of missing. As for the Magatama, for the longest time, I believe that was the one reason for why maybe the events of Ace Attorney were instead from the first game, where Phoenix and Maya were more like small acquainted. Phoenix did not have the Magatama, but stuff from the second and the beginning of the third game are referenced. So no, that cannot be it either.
Pretty much, yeah. It really is weird. And again, it did initially bug me the first time I played this game at this point, but again, looking back, I was able to look better at it. I will say this, though. While it is tolerable here, there will unfortunately come a point where even I do have to call bullcrap on the game. Now, thankfully, that is not until way later in the game, but just know that that's coming. Also, I will say this. I don't know if I've said it before, but one thing I absolutely do love is is the witch trial version of Phoenix's theme. Now, we've already heard an orchestrated version of it back in the prologue, but this is the proper one, Objection 2012. And while it's great and everything, I do love how they add in a rendition that, ironically enough, sounds like it's paying homage to Apollo's Objection theme of all things, where it goes do-do-do.
Did Kitagawa work on Apollo Justice?
He may have been one of the many composers on that. He wasn't the lead composer, though. That was a different guy.
No. He only became the primary Takumi composer with this game.
He might have been involved in it. Again, don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. It wouldn't surprise me, though. Like, this isn't the first time that an Ace Attorney soundtrack or anything has paid homage to Apollo's theme. Like, oddly enough, they literally had his theme in the movie as well, which we pointed out. Basically. That was interesting.
Oh, definitely. I mean, remember, like, Ace Attorney 1 soundtrack is still my personal favorite Ace Attorney soundtrack. Again,
I was talking about them paying homage to Apollo's theme from Ace Attorney 4.
I get that. I get that. That was just addressing the Objection 2012 thing that you were talking about. Like I said, I'm really glad to see this theme orchestrated because, again, it's my favorite Objection theme of the main series. So, although when it comes to this particular game, in terms of themes in court, it doesn't get any better than Pursuit casting magic, as far as I'm concerned. Because that theme is god tier.
You'll get there when we get there. For now, we'll see you in the next part.
See ya.
See ya.